So, how did we get on since the last time we met, which I think was May, our last success day? Is this the fastest year in history or what? We're nearly at Christmas. Did you have a good summer? I haven't seen you since May. All good. I became a granddad since May. Yeah, I've had to postpone the retirement plans. Yet another little one has arrived in the Parker household. He's 4 weeks old yesterday. Little baby Leo. Yeah, he's delightful. So you'll be seeing a lot more of me. I've got to work harder now. I've got more responsibilities. In fact, I took my 2 other grandkids away in the summer as well. That was an experience. And I know lots of you guys and girls have got young children. Mine are all grown up now, and I forgot how much energy you need when you've got a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old with you on holiday. I was knackered by the end of the week. Came back, said to my Nicola, we need another holiday. Every single morning, little Mason's running in. Come on, Bobby, we need to go swimming. I'm going, Mace, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Every single morning he does this. And one morning he runs in, he goes, Bobby, we need to go swimming. I go, Mace, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I've got to have my breakfast first. He takes one look at my stomach, he goes, Bobby, your tummy full, you don't need any breakfast. So since then I've been making an effort on the old C9 to lose a little bit of weight, but it was fun. Since then, of course, we've also, very many of us, been across to Forever Direct, and all of Scotland now being supplied from our big warehouse in Rotterdam. And I think for those of you that have been with us to visit the facility, you'll agree with me, it really is an amazing facility. Over $30 million worth of investment at the start and continual investment along the way. Ireland is about to be supplied from Forever Direct, and then by the end of February, the whole of the UK will be supplied. We're going to try and set up some more trips, perhaps make it part of an incentive trip so that more of you can get out there and see what is just an amazing facility, and very much part of our legacy, of course. As you know, wherever we are in the world, wherever we're operating, we put down deep roots, and so we're going to try and get more of you out there as the time goes on. Who are our new people in the room today? Who's with us for the very first time today? Okay, well, let's give these guys a big round of applause. Thank you for being with us. As always, we've got a fun day lined up for you, a combination of recognising your success here in Scotland, and in between some sessions on how you can build a business, a little bit about our products. We've got the great Jane Leach in the house today. Jane, welcome to Scotland. Thank you for being with us. We look forward to hearing from Jane later on. We've also got our newest brand ambassador arriving in a while, Ben Cohen, England. Yeah, well, a bit of eye candy for you girls, yeah, whatever. Try not to pass out or faint or anything. We don't have enough medical staff in. He's nervous actually because, he's an England rugby player, and you guys are very patriotic about your rugby, so be gentle with him. He's not a very big lad. So we're looking forward to seeing him later on today. And for those of you who are here for the first time, as always, at the start of my slot, I just want to share with you a little flyby of our opportunity so you can put into context what our day is all about. And our success days are a very big part of our culture. Throughout the forever world, there'll be success days running where we can recognize people for their achievements and also for their courage. Because when you start on that journey of building a business for yourself, it does take courage. And what I love about Forever is that it is an opportunity for everyone. And if you're in the room for the first time today, I hope that by the time you leave, you also get a sense of that. If we look across the Forever world, there are people from the age of 18 starting their Forever businesses right the way through to people in their older years. And we've had some amazing experiences in talking to people from all sorts of backgrounds and all walks of life. Probably the eldest person I think I've ever personally recognised on the stage was well into their 90s and actually didn't join the business until they were in their 90s. So we're definitely not ageist, and I'm not sharing that with you so you can hassle all the old age pensioners in Glasgow tomorrow. That's not the meaning. Just to say that wherever you've come from, whatever your age, whatever your background, this is a place in which you can build something for yourself, people from all walks of life. We're a global organisation, although we didn't start that way, of course, from small, humble beginnings. A great picture of our founder here, Rex, and a more modern picture of him. We're 40 years old next year. Yeah, We've got some big celebrations lined up, and I hope that whether you're a qualifier or a non-qualifier, you'll join us next year in our celebrations, which are going to be in Dallas in April. For those of you who are new to the business, you can buy tickets. They are on sale, I think, either now or from Monday, and it's going to be a spectacular event as we celebrate 4 decades of helping people get into business for themselves. Dallas has been chosen as the host city because it's also the city in which we manufacture the vast majority of our products. We have our manufacturing place there called Aloe Vera of America, and so as part of that trip, you'll also get a chance to see those facilities. We're still a privately owned business, and I love that about us. And when I was looking at the business myself, I joined as a business owner back in April 1994. The fact it was a family business encouraged me to join back then, and nothing's changed since. Being a family business, not having institutional shareholders, not being owned by a bank or a venture capital company, as far as I'm concerned, is fantastic because we're completely in control of the journey that we're on. And from those humble beginnings back in Phoenix, Arizona, we now operate in over 150 countries around the world. And so as a forever business owner, when you get started and during the whole course of your journey, you can either choose to build your business just on a local basis, and very many of our business owners do that, or you can choose to make a global business. And of course, Jane Leach, who's going to be speaking to us later on, has probably got one of the biggest global businesses anywhere in the forever world. Our observation as a head office team is that people now are developing global businesses probably faster than we saw historically. And I guess that's no surprise in the age in which we now live, where the ability to communicate on your phone is probably greater than ever. And so it's easier now to connect with people who live in other countries, encourage them to look at the forever opportunity, and should they choose to get involved, it's also easier for you to support them now than ever before. So either a local, national, or international opportunity is what you have when you become a forever business owner. Stability and growth should be of concern to you. If you're putting even part-time hours into your forever venture, you want to, of course, reassure yourself that we're going to be around in the future to continue to pay you the bonuses that you've created. We're cash rich, we're debt free. A fairly unique set of circumstances again. Whenever we invest in our infrastructure, and I already referenced Forever Direct in Holland, which was over a $30 million investment a few years ago, paid for cash from our reserves, puts us in a really strong position. So wherever we open up in the world, wherever we buy assets, they're bought for with the cash reserves that we have. $2.6 billion worth of global sales makes us a sizable organization, but in the context of the amount of money that's spent on products like ours, we haven't yet scratched the surface, which again makes it an exciting opportunity for those of you just getting started. The fact that we've got a great history, we've got a great track record, we've got literally tens of thousands of successful business owners that you can reference, and yet there's still massive untapped potential, and that potential gets stronger year on year. In the UK, we sell over £100 million worth of products at retail values. So again, sizable turnover, but in the context of what's being spent by the British public on products like ours, again, we haven't scratched the surface. Just the skincare market alone is worth close to $3 billion in the UK. So there's still massive untapped potential. Probably one of the strongest things that we can say about our business is that we're consistent. Year on year, the business has grown. So here in the UK, we've been trading since 1993. Over 20 years of being in business here. Now, the interesting thing about that statistic is that as I travel around, and I'm sure very many of the other leaders would say exactly the same, we're still the best kept secret in Britain. Even in the taxi last night, as I was leaving the Radisson to go to the Crown Plaza, I'm chatting to the taxi driver, what you doing here, blah, 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 who'd you work for, etc., etc. Never heard of you. Okay, cool, that's great. It's great for those of us getting started, that you can benefit from the track record and the history, but still very many people in your communities have not heard of Forever Living. And even in my experience, when I talk to people who have heard of Forever Living, I say, that's fantastic. Which of our products is your favorite product is always my second question. And then they've never used the product. They've just heard of somebody who knew of us. So it's a massive untapped marketplace that we work in, and we're riding some really powerful trends that make it easier for you to build a business. And I say that in the context that, when you start in business for yourself, it's always best to be in an environment where there are growth trends, and we definitely have those. And the first one of those is the world of health and nutrition and well-being. You'll be aware from the newspaper articles that we have an aging population across Europe. People are living longer as a result of the world that we now live in, particularly the advances, of course, in medical science. But as we grow older, we also want to stay, very many of us, fit and healthy. And very many people now recognize that we can control certain aspects of our health. You'll be aware of some of the things that are good for you to do and some of the things that are not so good for you to do, particularly those of you just recovering from last night's boozing session. So we know if we take exercise, it's good. We know if we drink water, it's good. We know if we get good sleep, it's good. We know if we eat nutritious food, it's good. We know that if we smoke, it's not good. And if we drink too much alcohol, it's not good. So that, everybody's aware of that. And we're also aware now that we can help ourselves sometimes by supplementing our diet. And so there's been lots and lots of growth and lots of newspaper articles about this world of health and well-being. And that's one of probably the most significant changes that I've seen in our industry in the over 20 years that I've been around. I remember 23, 24 years ago starting in Forever Living, not many people had even heard of the plant from which we make the vast majority of our products, and that's the aloe vera plant. I doubt if there's many people around in the UK now that haven't heard of aloe vera. Would that be fair? Not necessarily just because of what Forever's done. The fact that very many manufacturers use aloe because they know people reference aloe and think of this is healthy. So we're world leaders in the production of products from the aloe vera plant, the beehive products. They're natural, they're top quality. Every single year we reinvest millions of dollars of our profits into research and development. We're constantly looking at new emerging markets in the world of wellness and making sure that we have the best quality products. And probably the biggest statement that we make about our products is the fact that from day one we've always given an unconditional money-back guarantee on anything that anybody buys from us. A 60-day unconditional money-back guarantee. So it means, particularly for those of us just getting started, we can share with confidence our products, knowing that our friends and family, if they don't like them, can get a full refund. That makes that a very comfortable transaction when you're first starting in business. But when you put that into context, imagine that 40 years of giving an unconditional money-back guarantee on your product. What must that say about your product if you're still in business? The product works. And for those of us that have been around for any period of time, you'll have had that confirmed by your customers. They don't come back asking for their money back. What they come back for is more products, and very often come back and saying, by the way, my auntie, uncle, sister, cousin, brother would also like the product. And that's exactly how we build a forever business, by personal recommendation rather than by sale. That's also an important element. Very often prospects or guests say to me, I'm not sure whether, if I join Forever I'd be able to make it work because I'm not really a salesperson. And I guess that's a sensible comment to make. However, most of the ways in which we develop business isn't really around a conventional sale. It's more about just, I'm an advocate of the product, I'm a product of the product, I can talk about it. In the same way as if you saw a good film at the cinema, you might go to your office the next day and rave about that film. That's what we do about our products. And again, a testament of that, I think, is the fact that very many Forever business owners started as customers. And as a result of their experience of the product and people seeing how well they looked, or them just talking about how they felt, they joined the business. So for the benefit of our guests in the room today, how many of you came into Forever that way? You were a customer first, so enthusiastic about what happened to you. Okay, take a little look around. We've probably got 30-40% of our room that started as customers before they became a business owner. For me, that's a really strong testament to the power of our product range, and that's also a fundamental in a business. If you can stumble across a product that people can develop a strong emotional attachment to, then you've got a winning product, particularly when that product is consumable, particularly when your customer can't get that product on the high street. They can only get it from you as an independent business owner. That makes for a really strong business model. And so when you come into our business, that means you can share the product with anybody and everybody that you meet, literally from babies through to people in their older years. There's something in our product range that's suitable for them. And pretty much everybody between those two people is going to be using products like ours anyway. If you look at our personal care range, for example, everybody cleans their teeth every day, at least I hope, wears deodorant every day, probably wears some hair care products. In my case, you're not going to get rich selling hair care products, but you know what I'm saying. So it's a really, really comfortable way of building business. So there's a trend towards health and well-being. There's a company like ours that provides top-class products. The third trend that we're riding is this trend of people wanting a more flexible way of earning a living. In my mom's era, and probably in very many of your mom's eras, it wasn't unusual for somebody to work for a company for all of their life. Those days are well past now. The days of the job for life are gone, and very many people are now faced with career changes on a regular basis. And as a result of that uncertainty, as a result of other pressures that people feel when they are employed, of not getting pay rises that they deserve, not getting the same bonuses they used to get, an expectation sometimes that they need to work longer hours even to keep their job. What that's led to is more and more people now seeking an alternative way. And the alternative way is to get into business for yourself. However, getting into a conventional business, you often need a fair amount of money. Buying a franchise, you need a fair amount of money. So we have a business model here that literally is accessible to anybody and everybody, which is a really, really powerful place to be. So we have a business model, a distribution method, if you like, that enables people to connect with their customers, to buy a product at wholesale, to sell it at retail, and get a lot of support along the way. It's called network marketing or team marketing. It's recognized worldwide, of course. We operate in 150 countries. 150 governments know what we do. It's fast growing as more and more companies recognize that a very efficient way of getting product to market is through an inspired business owner, the likes of which we have, of course, millions. And it's a business without borders because you can literally choose where you want to work and who you want to work with. It's a very flexible business model. In fact, I think maybe later on today you're going to hear about somebody who's built their business in more than one place. They moved and then carried on building their business. To support us along the way, we have a professional advisory board. We recognize that most people who are joining our business have not been involved in this world before, and so having that knowledge at your fingertips is important. Far left, we have our resident doctor, Dr. Peter Atherton, and if you've come into Forever already by way of our Business in a Box, the book in there written by Peter is a key piece of information for you. He's the author of 3 books. He's probably done more research on aloe than anybody else that I know. And I think when you read that book, you'll get a strong sense of the power of the plant from which we make most of our products. One in, David Urch, who's our resident vet. We've always been proud to say that we never test our products on animals in the formulation of the products, but our finished product works really well on animals. We've got, particularly in the UK and Ireland, very many business owners that are building their business in the animal world, particularly the horse world, and David's helped us greatly with that. Dawn is our skincare and nutritional expert, and she's now tasked with launching our new anti-aging skincare range called Infinite. I think probably very many of you know we just picked up an award a week ago at the Beauty Awards for the serum in there, so I'm sure that'll help us get a lot of leverage with the press. We've already got a number of high-profile, particularly female magazines that are looking at doing articles on our serum, and Dawn's helping us greatly with that. And then far right, we've got Louise Riley, who is our fitness and C9 and F15 skincare specialist. Skincare, weight loss specialist. In most of the areas we work, we also have leadership teams made up of our business owners, and so this is our Scottish leadership team here. If they're in the room today, we'd love you to stand so that we can recognise you for the contribution that you make to Scotland. Thank you for your expertise. If you're new in the room, get to speak to some of these people later. The leadership teams that we have are instrumental in helping us be able to provide the support, the business tools, the retailing tools that you need in specific areas. So we greatly value their input and their expertise.